pass that down that way, that way. That little coupler is designed to spin that motor at the right connection to spin the dryer, or the transmission, and that's what makes all your agitation and everything work. In the older systems, you have a belt, a tensioner pulley, and all that other stuff. So if that belt starts to slip, it can go out, and the transmission goes out. It'll mess up the belt and the transmission, or it could burn up the motor because the motor's trying to spin, or whatever the case may be. But all that little piece does is you'll see that on those plastic pieces there's metal in the middle. The original ones that they come out with from the factory are plastic. What that piece is designed to do is if it gets overloaded, it shears out that piece and messes that up. Instead of messing up your transmission or messing up your motor, it's a little $40 part instead of a $200 transmission. So that's why I like the Kenmore. They're real simple, or the Whirlpool made this. Well, I should say Whirlpool because Whirlpool made the Kenmores. Now the newer machines are getting different. They don't have a motor. They don't have a training. They have just a little electric motor under there that spins the whole tub. So they're a totally different machine. But if you stay with the older style, they still make these just recently. So the last couple of years, you can still get a newer machine like this. It's still top loaded. But my wife's used both of them. She's used front loader. She's used right now we have the Cabrio, or
No, the Calypso.
Calypso. All it has in the bottom is a little bubble. And she's been using that one. We got a really good deal. I got her set up. She uses all my appliances. That's what I do. When I test them out, get them ready to go, she puts her clothes in them, and we test them with my own clothes before I send them to the store to sell. So I make sure before you get them, they work. Now they are used. Something may happen, you get home and it may not work. We have a warranty that covers that. Because they are used, you just never know. But what I like about it, my wife says, even with the Calypso that's newer and more expensive, she said I still like the older machines because she said it doesn't feel like they get as clean with these newer machines because they don't work it like these do. These work it down and do all the work. And she likes these still a lot better. She said the other day, she said I'd still be happy with the old machine again because that's what she prefers. So, but if you look under here, you see how dirty it is around the edge and all that. All that stuff can get up in your motor and cause your motor to get overworked and overheated. So my job when I get it, I take it out. It won't look like this. It'll look like a brand new machine. If I would have had time in another machine, I would have brought it up here to show you the example. But this would be pure black again, like it should be. And everything, the tub will get cleaned out and all that, and we go through, and if there, some cases we can't reuse the other machine. So what I'll do is I'll save any kind of part that's decent on it that I can use on another machine. I'll go and do that to save my expensive. The most of the electronics are on this is the motor. You got the wiring harness that comes up and feeds the water valve, and then the timer. So that's all, and then over here. Now this is another thing I don't like. I don't like all these extra switches. Extra switches mean more problems. Most people, when they do laundry, ladies, tell me different if I'm thinking wrong, but they usually have a setting they set theirs on, and it stays there. How often do you change your setting? Every time you wash? Maybe once a year if you're doing something special. But in most cases, it's on the largest load. You have the setting you like to set it in, and then go. Well, this one has an extra rinse, a cycle signal, and all this other stuff. Well, that's just an extra switch that can go back. So I don't like those. But I'll sell these all day long because they got all those extra features that they will never use. So if you go to buy something new, I wouldn't necessarily look for all those extra features because when I sell a machine, those switches cost me about $25 more because I have to make sure that I have a warranty that covers it, and if something does go on, I have to be able to fix it. So those little things all add up. And on the newer ones, they're the same way. All those extra features just cost more. So if you're not going to use them, don't pay for what you don't need. It's just a waste of your time and money. So that is my whole purpose in the Whirlpool. Like I said, the dryer, it was a little bit more evident because we pulled it out. The lint was falling out of the dryer when we did it that day. You could see the difference in dirtiness. And this is fairly clean compared to what most of them are we do. You can ask Missy.
Yeah.
She's usually my cleaner in my story, not Chuck. So what is good about this one, and you can tell a lot just from the case, is you don't see about halfway up a line going all the way around. This one has lines going down it the whole way, but if a transmission's starting to go bad, it'll spin out the oil. So from here down, you'll see an oil line all the way around. So you can tell that if you are working on one yourself and you're having me do it and someone's there to work on it, and they tell you your transmission is going bad in a whirlpool anymore, you can generally look at your case and see if it is. But usually the only thing that's going to go bad is your drive coupler, and there's a clutch on the tranny that goes bad, and it's what tells it what speed to spin at. So if that goes bad, then it could act like a transmission too. But I've only, honestly, probably about a handful of transmissions is all I've ever replaced in the 7 years I've been doing this, or 7 to 10 years anyway I've been doing this, because transmissions just don't generally go bad. So they're just, it's usually that coupler, or it's usually that, I mean, I'll pick up machines all the time that people get rid of because they went and bought a new one because their lid switch went bad. So is it always the best thing to go out and do, to run out and buy a brand new one? No. We have a $65 service fee to come to you, which is a mob, you get it for 50. So if it's this. Now if it's the front loaders cost us, I think, $10 more or something. I can't remember what we got.
75. Yeah, it's
But
75.
still, as a mob member, you get a better discount. But still, it's worth to have someone come out and look at it before you just throw them out if they're Whirlpool or Kenmore right now. If it's a Maytag and you're having a problem with the transmission or a Manor or one of those other odd machines, then yeah, you probably might as well just get another one and let me come get your old one, because their transmissions are more expensive and they're just not worth putting the money into to fix it where these are.
Unless it's a Whirlpool made Maytag,
Yeah.
which
yeah, you
they
gotta be
do
careful.
do that now.
So the best thing is if you have something and you're questioning it, call us first, and we can usually tell you with a model number over the phone if it's worth fixing or what's going on with it. You know, any of these problems, if you call me and tell me mine's not spinning, you know, it's making a noise when it does spin, most of the time I can tell you without even coming out what's wrong with it, because they're that common in products.